All right. Hi, welcome to 360 Sports. It is April 24th, Frenzy Show. I am Luke. We have Peyton, Jack, and Alec. So today we're going to start us off as we have multiple postseason sports going on right now. In the East, we have a close series between the Pistons and Knicks who are tied 1-1 going into Game 3. What are your guys' thoughts, and who do you guys have going through?
Well, first of all, it's been an awesome series so far. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but I mean, look at Game 1. Knicks were down 10. Malik Beasley, for some reason, tries to test his luck on Jalen Brunson. Clearly didn't work. They came back and won it in Madison Square Garden. Big win for them. And then the Pistons came out in Game 2, didn't make the same mistake in that fourth quarter. They just ramped up the pace still, and they played their big brand of basketball, Detroit basketball, really grindy, dirty. Asar Thompson, not really the offense guy, but really that glue guy on defense. He's doing a great job on Jalen Brunson so far. You don't really have to worry about the fouls too much. Karl-Anthony Towns has been having some rough matchups with Jaren Duran. So it's been a very fun series to watch. You have this Knicks team with, quite frankly, 5 stars at any given time. Not sure why Tom Thibodeau's running some lineups with only 1 starter. That's insane to me. Cameron Payne isn't that great at basketball.
Oh, he won them. He didn't win them Game 1, but he sparked them.
But that was that one game. He always has that one game. I mean, look back at the Suns 4 years ago. He won them 1 finals game. And then what else did he do for the rest of the series?
Well, he's improved. Like, he's obviously improved.
Fair enough.
I tell you what, this series has been star-driven. Cunningham has 21 and 33 points in both games. Brunson has 34 and 37 points in both games. I mean, look at the Pistons. Last year, they were the laughing stock.
Yeah,
I think 15. I think they only had 15 wins.
At this point, don't be that team.
Yeah, at this point, they were watching a series like this, but now they're in the playoffs, and you said they're the bad boy Piston identity. It's kind of back. It's not there like how it used to be.
But I mean, you got like Asar and Isaiah Stewart. You have some guys
They
there.
understand the identity of the team, and they want to fill it out, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
But then also, you got like a Dennis Schroeder. He's always been a guy to get into some fights. Malik Beasley, too. He's been running his mouth a bunch on social media. Isaiah Stewart try to hurt LeBron bad. A couple years back.
Come on. And they treat Cade Cunningham like a quarterback. I mean, you mess with him, that whole Pistons lineup won't let that slide. And this has been a very entertaining series so far, and I like how it's 1-1, keeping it tied. So
it's the only series in the East that both teams have won a game, and I just think it's an amazing series, but I think this is the best series we're going to get out of the East. I was kind of hoping for a great Bucks-Pacers matchup, but it hasn't been that.
Well, I think it'll pick up soon. I think the issue with the Bucks right now is obviously Dame's coming off the blood clots, which, is very difficult.
Thrombosis, you mean?
Yeah.
You want to get technical, okay.
The thing with that series is they're letting Giannis do whatever the heck he wants. It's just nobody else does anything. I mean, Giannis, I think, has maybe combined 60 points for 2 games and not even maybe 30 rebounds.
Hasn't that been the Bucks' game plan for the last 4 years, though?
Yeah.
Just Giannis, here, go.
That is true, but back when they did do that, they had a player like Drew Holiday, like the people that could stop on defense. They don't have any defense right now.
Wait,
and that's super hard.
So you're telling me?
Kuzma's not that guy.
I am telling you that.
Well, I mean, it's not only because of that. I mean, when you have a bad defensive team like Damian Lillard, who's been getting exposed this entire series, same thing with Brook Lopez. He's really rough to watch in that pick and roll when he's not just kind of sitting there in the paint.
Yeah.
You have an insanely good offensively ran team in the Indiana Pacers. I mean, what's it called? Tyrese Halliburton, he runs that offense to a T. Rick Carlisle was the coach for him. He loves a point guard that's going to go out there and generate the entire offense. Benedict Mathurin works great off him. Miles Turner's been working great off him. Pascal Siakam looked incredible in that game too against Giannis as well. So if they can do what they were doing on defense against this Bucks team, which is just letting all the bad 3-point shooters keep shooting,
Like Kuzma.
it works great. I mean, yeah,
Like the stat
let
sheet that
Kuzma
whole first
lose the
game,
Bucks the
5-2
game
was-
so the
Yeah.
Pacers can just do what they do on
Giannis
offense.
is going to get his 25. He's going to get to the hoop. You got to defend everybody else. You win that easy.
He's got to go 2018 LeBron style. I was kind of hoping for that, but haven't seen it.
Role players are too good. That'll never happen again.
Oh, yeah.
But Jack, going back to what you said, so it's the only game 1-1 in the East is this Knicks Pistons. There we go. Game. But now in the West, we have almost every series tied up at 1-1. What's been your favorite series so far? And who do you think is guaranteed to go to 7? Which series?
We're talking about the West specifically, the Timberwolves and Lakers series. That has been, I mean, Ant-Man came in, showed out game 1. I think they blew out the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Lakers came back to tie the series. That series has been amazing so far.
Luka with 30 in game 2, too.
Yeah. One of the best postseason players statistically to ever do it.
Yeah, I think the Lakers did a great job of revamping their offense in the middle of the playoffs. Not to a full extent, but just not having Luka hunt for that Rudy Gobert matchup. We saw the Suns actually do that a bunch last year in the first round matchup. Kevin Durant, every time he got the ball, it almost seemed like he wanted Rudy Gobert to be guarding him. But then when that leads to is stagnated offense and players aren't moving as much. That's what the Lakers do not want. What they do want is Luka and LeBron moving constantly. Because then Jackson Hayes gets involved. You get the shooters more involved. Gabe Vincent thrives in an offense that moves constantly. That's how we became really popular in Miami a few years ago when they went on their big run as the 8th seed. So if they keep on continuing their play of just running, gunning, full blaze movement, they'll do great. Not when just Luka's sitting there against Rudy Gobert in the isolation. It's just not going to win them games. But transitioning from the Timberwolves to the Lakers series, I have been loving the Nuggets Clippers. That's been the most fun series to watch by far. James Harden, you have no idea what you're going to get with him. He is the system, but sometimes the system fails.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
I don't even know if he's the system with a healthy Kawhi. I mean,
Oh,
that
I was
guy's
just saying,
oh my
Kawhi
God.
came
he's a
back. He
playoff
is.
menace.
Yeah, of
whenever
course.
it
Kawhi
comes.
Leonard with the 40 bomb in game 2, practically. But it's been a super fun series to watch. I mean, the Nuggets have been playing great basketball. I know it's they're in a weird point right now. They fired their GM, they fired their coach, but Jokic still seems to be trying to level up this team a bunch more. And he's been a really fun watch in the playoffs, especially against Ivica Zubac, who is statistically the best Jokic defender in the NBA right now. And he's been having himself quite a season as well. He's arguably a top 6-7 center in the NBA right now.
He's a double-double.
And then
machine.
Kawhi
He's
is
tough.
back as well. You guys just mentioned he was practically lights out in game 2. I believe he only missed 5 shots on 19 attempts,
It's
which
looking
is
like 2019 for him.
unheard of.
It looks like he's back ready to will a team to another championship.
Yeah,
right?
it's funny. He's almost in that conversation of a what if player, even though
Mhm.
he has 3 championships and 2 finals MVPs.
Well, if he doesn't get hurt those 2 years, we're talking about him like he's KD. You know,
That is
he's in
true.
that echelon
true.
of player.
I mean, the
So-
Clippers did go out of their way to get him and Paul George. We all know how Paul George went, but I mean, you know what you're getting with Kawhi. If he's healthy, playoff, like some players just turn into a different mode. Kawhi is one of them.
Yeah, I've been loving playoff Kawhi. I really hope that he continues to emerge as like a star. I'm just worried that his past injuries will come to haunt him. I'm just really worried about that.
I mean, yeah, that's what happened with them back in 2021 when they had that big run against the
Mhm.
Utah Jazz. That was a really fun game or series too. When they went against the Jazz, he had that big, I think it was a 40-point game as well.
Yeah.
Then the next game for game 7, he gets injured. Paul George had to step up. He won that game, but then you knew in the conference finals
Don't also
they were
Yeah.
going to win.
against
Yeah.
the Warriors when Zaza landed,
Whoa,
fell on
whoa,
him.
whoa,
I'm not saying anything,
whoa.
but they're like the
It was clean.
Spurs were looking to knock off the Warriors, and then Kawhi gets injured, which was say what you want, but also another dent wrench in his path. So if he stays healthy, this Clippers team, any team that has Kawhi is going to
Mhm.
do good.
All right. Speaking of playoffs, right now we still have the hockey playoffs going on. The Golden Knights and the Wild are all tied up at 1-1, and the Dallas Stars are taking a 2-1 lead. They took a 2-1 lead yesterday in overtime. What has been your favorite series, and what team do you want to look at that could win it all this year?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I low key don't think the Stars can do it because they've led for a total of 1 minute and 2 seconds, and they're still up 2-1 in the
Yeah.
series. Like that's just insane to me. But they know how to get it done. I will give them that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for best series, I know the Stars are up 2-1, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the Knights series is the only one that's tied at 1-1. I think every other team's up 2-0.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably the best entertaining series just because it's the most competitive as of now.
Yeah, it's been really entertaining. But I'm kind of sad that it's only been one game of Panthers Lightning. That's been a good
Yeah, that's
series.
been
Matthew
weird.
Tkachuk has been he went off.
Mhm.
Chucks are
He's a beast.
so good. He's so good.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And then I guess a team that I guess is favorite, I think it'd be kind of storybook if the Capitals win it all. Like, Ovechkin breaks the record,
Mhm.
they go on to win it. So
You,
that's just perfect for them.
you think if they win it, Ovechkin retires after this year? You got it, right? You break the
mean,
goal record, you win the
I
What
don't
else
Stanley
you
know.
have to
Cup.
play for? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly,
Like,
right?
unless if you want to keep padding onto that lead, but it's another record that it's going to be a while for somebody to break. So yeah, what else do you have planned for? I can see it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think a series that has surprised me so far is that Capitals Canadian series. I know the Caps are up 2-0, but it's felt like Montreal has like come back in each of these games, and they haven't been able to do it. I don't really have the Caps winning it all. I know that they're great. I know Ovi is that guy. I don't see it. I just don't see a long type of run from the Capitals.
All right, fair. All right, and now coming up, we have the match made in heaven. The NFL draft is tonight, and of course, we have to talk about some of these prospects. I want you guys to go to the board and give a prospect and team that is match made in heaven for them. All right. We have Alec first.
All right. So usually I take a more extravagant route when I do these, but I went pretty basic with this one. It's one of the last of the year, so just want to go with Penn State's very own Abdul Carter. I think it'd be a perfect fit for the Cleveland Browns because on the other side of him, you're going to have one of the best edge rushers of this decade in Myles Garrett, multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. He knows how to get it done, gets double-teamed a bunch. That'll be a great leeway for Abdul Carter to start his rookie campaign. I think it would fit very well into their defense. Have them both come off the edge, I think it would work very well. I could see him pairing up very well with Myles Garrett. And we've seen what it looks like to have two dominant edge rushers work successfully in the NFL. I mean, look at what the Steelers have been doing for the past couple of years. Alex Highsmith and having TJ Watt on the edge has been incredible for them. So this is basically just a copy and paste of that. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I gotta agree with you. I think Abdul Carter is one of the most sure prospects we have in this draft. And you can put him on the other side of Myles Garrett. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't
Oh
know
my
that.
God.
Tackles in the NFL have to start praying
For
today.
the
if that
Bengals' sake,
happens.
I hope that doesn't happen. But it
Well, I mean,
does look like it's gonna
You got to
happen.
think about it too for Carter. This is his first real year playing edge full time.
Mhm.
So to learn from a guy like Myles Garrett, who came in as a number one overall pick,
Mhm.
probably not like Carter because Cam Ward may go in that number one spot, but same thing.
Yeah.
High draft pick, went to big school, and he could just show him the ropes of how it is to be a professional, how it is to be an edge rusher, and really just show him how to be the next great, just like Garrett.
Let's hope health stays on your side. You don't want another
Yeah.
JJ Watt,
Mhm.
Davion Clowney. If you remember, that would have been a fun tandem.
What
to
could have
watch,
been,
but-
man?
What-
Yeah.
Clowney was a
One of
beast
those,
out of college. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Absolutely insane. All right, Gavin, we're up next. You're up next.
So I didn't have much time to think about this. I wasn't on the show originally, so this could go very well, very bad. But I think Ted McMillan to the Patriots. I actually had him going to the Panthers, but I must have misspelled. I was in a rush at that time. I'm going to say Panthers for my sake because that's what I wanted it to be. I'm sorry for the confusion, but Ted McMillan to the Panthers, I feel like would be perfect for Bryce Young. If he can get that receiver that can get open by himself, he hasn't had that receiver yet. It would be perfect. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to be in the first round. People have him fallen. So Tech McMillan to the Panthers.
Peyton, I like it.
Yeah, I was.
And as a Patriots
that.
guy myself, I know he might get taken at the 4 spot because he has fallen down in
Mhm.
some draft boards. But
Mhm.
man, I would love to have another receiver right along Stephon Diggs,
Yeah.
learn from him before Stephon starts doing Stephon Diggs things,
I'll
and
take the
really tries to be a
blame. I
locker
think
room
I might
for
have had a
that.
typo, but I wanted him to go to the Panthers. Tech McMillan, I feel like I think Patriots could get their lineman, but
I think Will Campbell will be going to
Yeah.
Patriots.
this is I don't know if McMillan even is going to be a top 10 pick. Is he going to be?
Yeah.
I keep hearing he's going to drop farther and
So,
farther.
but-
You guys think he's the number one receiver in this class?
If you don't count Travis Hunter as a receiver, then
Isn't he going corner?
I don't know. Whatever
he wants to play both.
He wants
There's
the
no way he
receiver.
plays
wants,
both
very
in the
adamant
NFL.
on
he
it.
wants receiver money. He doesn't want corner money. Come on.
I mean, corner's
Okay.
getting paid though. Stingley, $30 million. Just
Yeah.
saying.
And isn't Jamar Chase getting 40?
At 40 is bigger than 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
But money's there. Let me just say that.
All right,
Money
fair
is there.
enough.
All right. My pick for the NFL draft is going to be Will Johnson at Michigan. If it ever comes up on the board, I don't think it is. I don't know what's happening, but my pick is Will Johnson, and I have him going to Miami. There's that stuff with Jalen Ramsey that's been going on, and we don't really know what's going to happen. But I do know for a 99% fact he's not on Miami in this next season, and I honestly, who I said Will Johnson. This is not Will Johnson.
Is it?
I don't know what's going on. I said Will Johnson. I don't know who this is. I don't know what's going on. I do have Will Johnson going to Miami. He is a great player. He had that, I think it was like an 86-yard interception in like this first game of the season. I know that he's injured, but he was a great player in that last year's Michigan title win. And I would love to see him on Miami. I think Miami is going up. I know that the Tua situation not that great, but they need a corner, and I think Will Johnson is going to get it.
I mean, I think it's pretty realistic too
Yeah.
because it seems like somehow the Dolphins have become kind of that cornerback, not factory, but I feel like they always have guys.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard was there for a
Jordan.
while. Byron Scott was there for a while too.
Yeah, they usually have a decent corner on that roster at all times. You think so? We think Will Johnson's our number one corner as well this year.
I think so.
Do you think he could fall to Miami? Because I do keep hearing he might go to Vegas at 6. If Ashton gone, you're not looking at a lineman. I see a lot of him going to Vegas at 6.
What pick do the Dolphins have?
I think it's like 13 or something.
Yeah.
Or
Dolphins are a weird team. I mean, they're like
Mhm.
there, but they're not. I don't know. Like we know what
They're
I don't
somehow
know.
built for win now and somehow for the
Like,
future.
What's with Tyreek Hill? Of course, Waddle's a stud. Tua, that
You
O
do-
line's questionable. Like
They
They
traded away
need
their
an
left
O-line.
tackle, right?
no, that was the Texans.
Texans,
remember?
yes,
he did
yes.
play
He
for the
did.
Dolphins.
I think
Mhm.
Armstead retired though.
That's what it was. I
Okay,
think Armstead
so-
retired, and they're paying Tua $53 million a year.
This team's in a weird spot. So.
Yeah, I didn't get that contract at all. I mean, he was super injury prone before the contract, has been injury prone
Yeah.
after the contract. So
Like,
yeah, Miami's in a rough situation with him. I mean, when you're paying a quarterback that much, you're seeing with the Giants right now, it's
you
kind
gotta
of
stick
just
with him. Yeah,
Mhm.
dominoes
Or-
fall in the
Mhm.
bad places.
They do.
absolutely. All right, and finally, I'll come up to the board. All right, and my match made in heaven is Matthew Golden staying in Houston. He is a Houston-born kid. He grew up his whole life there. He played in Texas because he didn't want to leave home. And Houston is desperate for another receiver right now. They just lost Stephon. They're injury-prone room. So I think if you get Matthew Golden there, who's been a proven player, he's not going to be the best, but he is solid. He'll hold it down and he'll make some good plays for his team. So I think him there would be a match made in heaven. Giving CJ Stroud a good, reliable target would be perfect for him. What do you guys think?
Tell you what, I think the Texans, if they draft him, are doing their best Bengals impression. Because how can you justify trading your left tackle and your left guard in the same offseason and go receiver?
Yeah, that offensive line might struggle early, very bad. And we saw that with the Texans even this year. I mean, Stroud, it looked like he was lost out there, not to his own fault, but because he had no one protecting him.
Yeah, and I get Tunsil, you paid him a lot of money. I think he was like top in hold penalties. So I don't know. I mean, I like the pick. He's a great receiver. You guys have a good room if they can stay healthy. We don't know. I don't know what Tank Dell's injury. I don't know when he's coming back. We know if Nico Collins stays healthy, we know what we're getting from him. But I like the pick. I do like the pick.
I think he would fit into that scheme well. He would be able to run slot kind of area and clean up and just grab anything he can.
Well, it's not that the pick's bad. It's just the fact that they
Yeah.
have other detrimental
Fair.
needs. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm a
trading
Patriots
too,
fan
yeah.
myself, and I felt stressed watching every Patriots game because we had no offensive line.
Mhm.
And my glorious king, Drake May, sitting back there with two edge rushers coming at him full speed.
Don't have to talk to me about
Yeah, I was about to say,
offensive
don't
line.
talk to me
I'm
about
not
O-line.
talking about that.
yeah,
So,
I'm a Raiders fan. I've seen fair share of bad O-line play.
just I don't know. Trade away two offensive linemen same offseason. Maybe want to focus on that, but
Mhm.
I like the pick nonetheless.
I like it too.
All right, we're gonna go and stay on the NFL draft track and do some trivia. I want you guys to answer 3 of the questions relevant to the draft. That's what we got here. Which college produced more first-round draft picks, LSU or Michigan? Ooh. How many
I feel like
Michigan
star
first
wise,
round-
it might be LSU, man.
I think it's got to be LSU.
It's
How
gotta
many
be
Michigan
LSU.
first rounders can you even name off the top of your head? 4?
Will Johnson's gonna be one of them. I can tell you.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Doesn't
Mason
count yet.
Graham, doesn't count yet, but I mean LSU also had some like Patrick Peterson, Jamarcus Russell. I mean,
Tyrann Matthew was he a first
Tyron, I
rounder?
think he's
Yeah.
first round, and
Yeah.
of course, Burrow,
Odell.
Chase, yeah.
Jarvis Landry.
I think Landry was a first round pick. I'm
just
gonna-
there if he
I
wasn't.
don't know. LSU has some names, man.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean,
roll
might be,
LSU here.
we might see a surprise because Michigan has been around for like a really long
Fair
time.
enough.
I don't know. I
I'm
think
going
LSU's again one of those
Yeah, I
historic
think so,
programs,
too.
though. So I'll go LSU.
Mhm.
LSU.
All right, lock it in.
Yep.
Of course, of course.
Mm,
Michigan has been
Too
around
long.
for I think they have like the most wins in NCAA history.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, you play for 1,000 years. Of course,
Exactly.
you're going to get there eventually. Come on now.
Cool NFL draft picks, those goes to LSU.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have way better
the
draft
Yeah.
most
picks.
recent.
They probably got more linemen from Michigan, which
that's
no one cares. Come on now. All right, let's see what we got next.
Oh, Taylor one.
Let's go right there. Which college has had the most players selected in the NFL draft as a whole?
So we can cross off Michigan and LSU.
Mhm.
Oh, you don't know. Be throwing us off.
Do Bama.
I was about to say.
And
I was
Bama is
about
the
to
first
say-
one that pops off in the head.
Ohio State could be up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe Georgia. I know they're more
Georgia's not a
recent
crazy-
Penn
teams.
State
They're
could be
recent.
up there.
I was
'cause
gonna
they
say
had
Penn
some
State
teams.
too.
Penn State.
I personally am gonna go rock with Bama. I think I got to rock with Bama here.
Safe pick.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like
All
it.
right, Bama. Let's see what we got.
Notre
Notre Dame.
Oh wow.
Wow. The fact that none of us even thought of that's
I'm
really
shocked
bad.
Notre Dame is this
It's probably
high.
because you're not in the conference.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
I'm just kidding.
They
No,
should-
Notre Dame has had some players.
Yeah.
Don't have to,
Yeah.
don't have to tell us.
I think
We
the
saw
last
that
guy
kid.
was Hamilton, right? Kyle
Oh,
Hamilton.
he's-
Yeah,
he's-
Hamilton
Was it
won.
the last big guy or Cole Kmet?
I think
Came out
like
of there too.
Could he?
first round. Yeah, Hamilton's up there.
I think Hamilton was your last first rounder.
hmm
All right, last one.
Yeah, there was got an insane guy coming out of there.
What two teams have been selected first overall in the NFL draft the most? Ooh. Browns.
Browns have been around for a while.
Yeah.
So that fits pretty well.
Bengals had a few. I know.
I think
Bengals.
Bengals is a good one.
They had Palmer, Burrow.
I get the Bengals.
That's only
Convincing me.
that's only 3 though.
Me personally, I think it's the Raiders. I've watched us pick.
I can
multiple
understand
times.
that.
Yeah.
You think
Who
Raiders?
went
had
first for you guys? Jamarcus Russell.
Don't want to talk about Jamarcus Russell, man. Like, see,
Sorry, you
just
have to
bring it down
bring
the
it up.
vibe. You got to bring it down the vibe.
First round
These-
pick Raiders.
I don't know, but I feel like Browns might be the obvious pick, though. I mean, Mayfield and Garrett back-to-back
That
drafts.
is true. They haven't had a first. They haven't had a draft pick in the last 3 years because they traded them all to Houston. Like
Shout out to John
What
Watson.
else is
man.
another
Yeah.
historically trash team? Historically trash teams. Baltimore? Indianapolis?
no, Baltimore hasn't
No,
been around.
Indy's
for
a good
that
one.
much.
And I was thinking Indy. I think Indianapolis might be up there too.
Jacksonville, I feel like it's too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing like Tampa Bay, too new of a team.
I think Cleveland's.
Detroit?
I
I don't know.
think
I'm gonna
Cleveland's
roll.
right.
I'm gonna roll with Indianapolis. What are you guys rolling with?
I'm gonna roll with Cincinnati.
Cincy?
I got to speak some negative.
I'm gonna
about
go
them.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll stick with
All
Cleveland,
right, let's see
too.
what we
I
got.
feel like it's safe.
Oh
Colts.
my.
Colts.
That was a good
Bang.
one.
The Rams.
Rams, I'm
Wow.
shocked by. Oh, it goes back to 1938.
I was about to
Come
say
on,
the Rams have
Yeah,
been around
that's
for a
fair.
while. That does make sense when you think about it. But all right,
We got the
7
Rams
times.
drafting number one
They
during
took
the
that
Great
number one
Depression,
pick.
basically.
They took that number 1 pick personal because I don't think they had a first round for the next 4 years after that pick because they got Stafford and Ramsey. If you remember that.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
That Super Bowl a couple years ago.
good.
Yeah,
Ball
you
on.
know,
Yeah, you got Goff, you got Bradford right
Stop
there.
it.
Who was in 97? I think that was the Orlando Pace.
Yeah,
I have ball knowledge right there.
All right.
left tackle.
Point out of nowhere.
Good match.
He's a Hall of Fame lineman.
One of the best left tackles ever do it.
Like-
Also,
like-
big Patriots fan.
Let's
Beat him in the Super Bowl.
let's just go back to who cares who the lineman drafted. Come on. I played O-line in high school. I know. No one cares.
That is true.
I mean, I would guess Miami would care because what's happening with Tua.
Yeah,
they
you
want
know,
him.
they probably
want
wanna
more
come.
protection.
The owners care about the O-line.
All right, now moving on. We're on X Factor to watch. We talked about the playoffs and how great they've been. But looking forward, I want to know what you guys like. An athlete who's been your X Factor, who you think is really the biggest X Factor for their team this playoffs. All right, and we are starting with Alec. What do you got?
I went with Norman Powell for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's been averaging around 12.5 points per game so far this playoffs, which is quite frankly unacceptable because of how incredible he looked during the regular season. This guy was putting up 23 points a game with Kawhi out. Now with Kawhi in, it feels like he's kind of having a hard time finding his role. Before Kawhi really came in, or I guess last year when Kawhi was healthy a little bit and he was playing, he's in that more catch and shoot role. So I think Norman's kind of getting back into that because last year he was the best catch and shoot shooter in the entire NBA. If he can get back to that in the playoffs, I know it's a quick turnaround, but we've seen with guys like Derek White can do it. So if Norman Powell can keep that up, I think it would be huge for them, not only in the Nuggets series, but then looking a little bit further, potentially Thunder, potentially even Lakers if they somehow get by the Thunder. But Norman does need to step up if this Clippers team wants to get far.
All I can hear is that your X Factor is averaging 12.5 points.
Yeah.
Can't be
I
an
mean-
X Factor if you're averaging 12 points a
But
game.
But he can be the X Factor is
He
what I'm
can.
saying.
every
All he needs to do
system,
is step up a little bit.
every system needs some programming to it. And I tell you what, if Norman Powell can get going, it can take the stress off Kawhi and James Harden. Let Zubac just rebound because apparently he's good at that. So
He's probably the
Jokic
second
stopper.
or best third option scoring right
Yeah.
now in the entire playoffs.
if you can, if you're
Outside of like Derek White, Kristaps, and Austin Reeves.
if you third option behind Kawhi and James Harden, that means you're a pretty good player. So
Well, you don't think
I like that.
Brandon Pozinski for the Warriors isn't better than
B-Pod?
B-Pod? Come on now.
You're a big B-Pod fan?
Huge B-Pod fan. Come on now. He's tough. All right, Peyton, who's your X Factor?
Well, I went with Jimmy Buckets, and I think it was kind of on display whenever he got injured. I mean, Warriors come into Houston; it's a 2 seed. They win pretty convincingly, and then he gets injured right away, and they lose by I don't know if it was double digits, but they lost.
14.
It
Yeah.
was 14.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, if he the Warriors need him to come back to win this series. Maybe not this series specifically, but they need him. Actually, they do need him this series. It's a 2 seed. What am I talking about? They need him to come back, and of course, if they want to make a deep run, they need him and Curry to start playing with.
Well, I have to play a little bit into the future. So let's say that they do get past this round. It's either going to be the Timberwolves or the Lakers. Either way, you need that man on the court.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Yes, you
the
do.
100%.
culture just shifts when he's out there. The rebounding goes up. The movement goes up.
The foul
'cause
shooting. People don't mention that.
Yep.
The foul
Mhm.
shooting goes
foul
up.
shooting goes up. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, he is the legit superstar of fundamentals right now in the NBA.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
quite frankly the new Tim Duncan somehow.
Yeah, and I hope he
Even
can-
though when he was in Chicago, he was doing whatever.
I hope people give him respect for playing with Golden State. I mean, people forget he led his team to 2 separate finals. Of course,
Oh yeah.
lost
Mhm.
them both, of course. So everybody's going to look at that negatively, but he was the focal point of both teams. Because Tyler Hero, I believe, broke his hand that one series.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just basically
Mhm.
him. So if he can get back healthy, this team can make a deep run.
Jimmy's ability to come to the Warriors and really take a step almost back and be okay sitting back and letting Curry shine and letting and just playing his
You don't
defensive
find,
responsibilities.
especially making
yeah.
$60 million a year, you don't find
Yeah.
that anywhere actually.
With that being said, though, he needs to take more shots if they do want
He
to win
does.
playoff games. It
Yeah.
seems like there's a couple of times this regular season where Jimmy Butler kind of does that, I'll do more playmaking, let other guys take over. But quite frankly, that just doesn't lead to wins. When Jimmy Butler does go out there and score a bunch, but efficiently, like we saw in that series a few years ago against the Celtics in the conference finals, then that's where we see teams with Jimmy Butler really shine.
The Warriors don't have enough offensive star power for him to sit back and not attack the basket and make some plays. He needs to get out there because the Warriors just don't have that much.
It's Curry your bus right now, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. Nah, Buddy Hield can shoot 3 every now and then.
What happened to Buddy
now.
Hield, man? He was
Yeah,
lighting up the
against
beginning of the
the
season.
Clippers.
So tough.
Cool.
That shot against the Clippers that could have made them not be in the play-in was horrible. I mean, there was 4 seconds left, and I don't even think he tried to make it. It just clanked off the back. It was horrible. But yeah, if Jimmy Buckets can come back, this Warriors team is going to be looking good.
All right, Jack, what do we got?
I'm going cross series here. I'm going to Jalen Green. You want to define? listen. You want to define X factor, a player that will make or break, your team in the playoffs. When you have 7 points in a double-digit loss, and then 38 points in a double-digit win, that's X factor. That
true.
is X factor.
Normally, I
The
don't
Warriors were
like-
missing their second best player.
I understand, but when your career high in your entire career is 42 points, and then you score 38 in your second ever playoff game, that he could be that guy.
Normally, I don't like giving X factors to the vocal point of a team. But yeah, you're right. Whenever you put up 7 and you lose by double digits, and then you put up 38 and you win, something's gotta
X
give.
factor. That is
absolutely.
X factor.
I feel like in
Fair
kind of a way that the entire Rockets team might be an X factor because,
You don't know who's showing up that
well,
day.
it just feels like none of them can really take a game off.
Yeah.
So let's say Jalen Green takes a game off. We saw it in game 1. They'll lose. If Sengun takes a game off, it won't be
The Warriors
close.
out rebound them,
Yeah.
and then more
Even
shots.
Tariq Eason off the bench, he needs to play
Mhm.
great minutes. If Dylan Brooks isn't doing what Dylan Brooks is doing, actually he's been playing great this series. Pretty sure he's averaging
Yes.
16 points a game, but still, none of them can really afford to take games off at this point just because
Especially
they
against-
don't have that really 1A guy
Yeah,
like a bunch of the playoff
and
teams have.
especially against when you're going against a guy that's won 4 NBA championships. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what seed. It's same with LeBron. Doesn't matter what seed they are. They're going to find a way to
Yeah.
win. So
They'll be able to score and win the game. It's that
Mhm.
simple.
But I'm gonna say if the Rockets do win this series, it's gonna be off of Jalen Green. It will.
Mhm. I agree with you there. All right.
Yeah, I can see him having a very similar performance to what Anthony Edwards did last year against the Nuggets, where he
Mhm.
just catches fire in a series. And if a guy would do it, it would 100% be Jalen Green
Yeah.
or Green because he has done that in the past.
Mhm.
We saw even last year when they almost made the playoffs, that last 10 games, Jalen Green was allergic to missing.
Mhm.
He was incredible down the stretch. So if he does it again, wouldn't be surprised. Ime knows how to get the most out of him.
All right, and then last is we're gonna stay in the series. We're gonna stay in the Bay too. I got Steph Curry as my X factor. I mean, it's clean cut and simple. He's the best player on the court on the court when he's there. Jimmy just got hurt. Steph is gonna have to play at a level where he's averaging 30 a game to really keep this Warriors game. And God willing, Jimmy's not hurt for too long. They need him back. But Steph is gonna have to put the team on his back. What he's done for the last 2 seasons, what he did when they won the championship in 22, he's gonna have to really just work hard and score all the points. And I think that's the definition of the X factor for me.
I think Curry's most underrated part of his game is his leadership. I mean, first of all, he's won 4 championships for a reason. He brought KD in and had no problem really taking that kind of second option
Yeah.
role when Kevin came into the Bay Area
Almost what
and
Jimmy's
still
doing.
won 2 championships.
Yeah.
Same thing. If Jimmy Butler has a great game, he has no problem being that guy to come off and really just be that guy to sit in the corner and shoot or come off screens, which he does every time. But if you guys remember from that series a couple of years ago against Boston in the finals, Draymond Green was really struggling early on because of the chants. People were, telling him
Mhm.
all types of bad names. But Curry was really the guy that came out there into TD Garden, silenced everybody, became kind of that villain,
He
took
made
all the
himself a
pressure
bad
off
guy,
Draymond
absolutely.
so everyone else could just flourish. And I think Curry does a great job of that. I think we'll see that in game 3, him try to really be the vocal point in the offense if Jimmy isn't back. So it'll be fun to see what he does. But
Good thing is
he's a great leader.
They will be coming back too. Now the Chase Center isn't any oracle, but it's still a daunting place to play. It's still not the best. You don't want to go there as an opposing
Oracle
team.
was dangerous back in the day, man. You couldn't hear anything.
I tell you what, just imagine for a second, because you brought up Curry, so I'm allowed to talk about him now. If he goes on this run, and wins the NBA championship, where's he ranked all time?
Well, can we already agree that he's already in the top 10?
He has to be time.
He's
All right.
top 10.
All right,
This one. All right, but
making some people mad.
now moving on.
Move on now.
Today, to end today's show, we have one thing. Everyone's pressing thoughts. Who wants to start?
You know what? I'll mix in some baseball into this show. I don't know. I'm gonna press the Yankees a little bit just because that bottom half of that rotation has been horrible to watch, and they can't hit good pitching. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I was happy with the Yankees those first couple games, the torpedo bat run, but unfortunately they haven't been doing too good as of late.
Alec?
I'll shout out my boy Luke Stepanesco in the back. E. Machado Gary. We will beat Carlos Parates on Saturday night, baby. Let's go.
And all I gotta say is they have to limit the amount of games that each team is playing in soccer. Pull it down a lot. Players are getting injured. Too many ACLs are getting torn. These players need to relax. They can't go from playing the Champions League final to a month and a half later, not even a month and a half later, less than a month later, having the FIFA Club World Cup. It's too much.
I mean, for me, please, for all that is holy, please watch Toronto and Ottawa in the NHL tonight. That series has been off the charts. Though at the end of game one, there was like a bunch of there was scrums and stuff, but that is a series to watch.
I think we're running out of time.
I think we are out of time. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. It was April 24th. Frenzy Show. Hope to see you guys again soon.